a big focus of what we do is all about creativity. And you're a creative, you're an art director, you're a muse, you're the founder of Cardano Women, and I think you're also a veteran as well. But I before I kind of just like go for, I wanted to give you the space to kind of just describe your background, what people should know about you, and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think best way to describe it is every individual is multifaceted in their own right. They come from a variety of backgrounds. I wear many hats. I've worn many hats, and I still do. So, like in the best summary, I guess I'm terrible at bios, and I guess like most people just don't, they like squirm and feel uncomfortable talking about themselves. However, we sit in Twitter Spaces talking about ourselves all the time.
All the time.
So, yeah, no, I'm a veteran. I've been out for now 7 years, and actually, correction, 8 years. 8 years. It's like a whole nother life. And yeah, art director, model, muse, that's been like, that was more or less like a hobby, that side hustle that also became more of a thing with Web3. And yeah, just innately a creative human being. So any way that I can express myself, then that's how I do it. So I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem, no problem. And I want to kind of dive into the world of art and how it coincides with business. Can you kind of like dive into what you do as an art director? I know it's like I think blockchain based a little bit right now, but just kind of step into that, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so art directing was not something that, I'm classically trained in from Web 2 to Web 3. It was one of
Mhm.
those things that when you come into Web 3, it's like coming to a new America. Basically, you
Facts.
opportunity land, you get to create who you want to be, how you want to be, and when, really. So when I first joined the space, again, CNFTs are still CNFTs, they're not much different. I think that that trend's coming back, but basically NFTs on Cardano. I started off actually on Ethereum, and it was expensive. I couldn't really afford Ethereum during the bull market. So then a week later, when I found Cardano, I felt like I found my happy place, a place where I wanted to be, because it was a smaller community. It was something that I could juggle better, I guess, but also saw it as it was still very fresh and new. NFTs were still very new, and one of one artists were few and far in between at the time. So my partner and I, we didn't blaze at all the one of one artist scene, but we did, and we still do our best to try to advocate for that sector of individuals in the ecosystem. So as a one of one artist myself, I somehow got lucky and picked up by JPEG Store a while back. And they asked, a really funny question, was like, we know all about you. We know that we really want you on our team. However, we don't know how, because you're not a developer, you're not a marketing person. Like, I didn't have any of those qualifications at all. And they were still willing to wanting to hire me. So I was just like sitting there for a few days. Just, I would think in the shower, I'd think in my car, I would think everywhere. And I was like, I want to help onboard people. That's really all I want to do, about educating and giving them an opportunity. And so I was like, JPEG Store has this perception as being primarily a project store, but I also am very well aware that you can mint on the platform like easily. It was really nice and not really advertised. So then I offered to be a creative director, basically one of one artist discovery kind of person, where I would use my network between the artists that I knew, between Ethereum, any blockchain, and then of course I love Instagram, so tons of artists there. I mean, that's kind of like our breeding ground, is those platforms. So that was really exciting.
Okay, awesome. And I didn't know you were doing that work with JPEG Store. First off, shout out to JPEG Store, a huge player in Cardano NFT development. I don't really think we would be where we are without them. Um, you
Yeah.
know, but you started, you went and touched on how your journey first started in
Mhm.
crypto. What brought you into crypto originally? Like, what caught your attention to like the wave?
Anger, frustration, not understanding anything. So I was working retail, 9 to 5 kind of job, again, a manager and everything. And so My job was to basically like go into work during COVID times, anytime, every time, and my partner would be at home and he would be on what was that platform called? Clubhouse. Sorry, he's rooting me out on the background. But yeah, he was on Clubhouse. When I would go to work, he'd be on Clubhouse. I come home, he would be on Clubhouse, kind of thing. And it made me frustrated because I was just like, I just got yelled at by customers all day because I had to wear a mask. I didn't have the product that they wanted. Like it was a crazy time. So then I guess kind of like a nagging significant other, I was just like, it's just a trend, just put it away. We're going to eat dinner. We're going to just like focus on other things. And then when I would go to work on my lunch break, gotta love Siri, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I kept seeing articles about NFTs. One that stuck out to me the most was Emily Ratajkowski, why she was joining this space. And I was like, okay, I can kind of relate with her. I'm a freelance model. I want to empower myself with my image. And why she was joining the space was basically to buy back her rights and things like that, which
Mm.
I thought was really empowering and also enlightening to see that it was a woman, not all of your crypto bros and everything. So I was like, okay, fine. I come home that day and I tell my partner, teach me this stuff. Like, what is it? Like, I'm now bowing to you. You can tell me everything. And it's kind of how it like rolled out. I think we went to like California, we went to a few parties, we went to a few events that were primarily like Ethereum based. And I just wasn't feeling it. And literally, we were on our anniversary in Denver, and Jason had mentioned my partner, his name is Jason, that there was yeah, there was a event in Wyoming that we could go drive to, and that was the Cardano Summit. So we went there, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the small crowd. I fell in love with the small group that we met was Cinnabon, Skulls, Rokindo, and quite a few other people. It was like really, really small group, but it was really powerful, and I really loved it. And then that's kind of just kind of how I kind of stuck around. Outside of that, there was, again, no marketplaces. So we were trading things in Discord. And my first collector was Hero. And huge shout out to Hero. He gave me a lot. He gave me belief in myself that I could do anything and a lot of education in the ecosystem. And him and Senpai Abe, if anyone remembers him, and Jenny Brito, gotta love her. She's everywhere, everything. And those three were my strongest people to helping me be where I am today.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And before we kind of like go by it, because you said so much there, you mentioned, because like I said, I'm really interested in the interconnection between art and blockchain. You said that Emily wanted to get into crypto to buy back her rights. So what does that mean? And how do you see like, blockchain being able to empower artists in ways that wasn't available previously in like Web 2, Web 1, or even just the physical world?
Yeah. So it's funny being a creative